Aloha, welcome. I'm Nadia. I'm a personal chef, wife, and mama living on the beautiful island of Kaua'i. I'm so excited to share some of our favorite recipes. They're inspired by island living and everyday home cooking. Let's make something delicious. Today, we're making puff pastry bites. These are so simple yet so delicious to make for a crowd. If you want to follow along with our cookbook for the exact measurements and temperatures, go ahead and do that. Let's get started in showing you how to make this beautiful bite. So we're going to start off this recipe by taking our goat cheese out of the refrigerator and letting that thaw out for a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing with our puff pastry sheets. And something about this puff pastry recipe to keep in mind is because these sheets are folded, you're going to have lines or creases down the middles of these sheets, and we're going to go ahead and press those down to get this as even as possible. Keep in mind that you're going to need a cookie cutter or some sort of circular cutter. I'm using an old matcha whisk for this. I'm now kind of pushing or pressing down these edges to make sure I have, again, an even surface with this puff pastry sheet. I'm going to take my cutter. It's about 2 inches in diameter, so if you have something similar to that, go ahead and use that. I'm going to take that and push down as firmly as I can to get these perfect little discs. Something to keep in mind is if your dough is too thawed out or too warm, especially here on the islands, our humidity is crazy, so it can get like that pretty quickly. So keep in mind that you want these crisp little discs. It can be harder to take these out. Trust me, I've done it so many times where you've kind of let it go too far, and then it gets hard to take these discs out and everything kind of sticks to the edge, and it's just a headache. So do yourself a favor, keep an eye out on your thawing sheets. I usually get about 24 of these rounds out of one package of puff pastry, give or take. So keep that in mind when you're preparing to have guests over or making this for a crowd. We're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 400 degrees and get a baking sheet and parchment sheet paper out, and we're going to divvy these out. Keep in mind puff pastry dough rises up and not to the side, so you don't need to put these as far apart from each other as you would if you were making cookies or something else. Once we have those ready, we're going to get ready to make our little welds or divots inside of every little piece. You can take your thumb and put a little bit of pressure down the middle and sort of twist or turn to make a little bit of a weld or a puka for your fig jam and your goat cheese. Make sure to hold these down on the side because they do kind of get a little bit tender. You want to make sure not to puncture any holes through the puff pastry, so take your time with this until you are ready to go with your fig jam. So for the fig jam, you're going to do the same thing and just bring out a little bit at a time for every single one. It's about a teaspoon, maybe teaspoon and a half. Kind of eyeball it, but make sure that you're definitely putting it in the center and that you're taking your time with this. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing with our goat cheese. Now, because our goat cheese has hit room temperature, it's a little easier to get out, but it's not so squishy or so melty that it's too hard to work with. We're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing with every single bite. But something to keep in mind with this is you want to make almost like a little volcano and push down on the cheese for every single one. This will just help keep things together when this goes in the oven. Speaking of the oven, we're ready to bake those at that 400 degrees, anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes or until they're golden brown. Let those cool for at least 3 to 5 minutes before you start plating these. You definitely don't want to touch these as they're cooling because it'll change the shape or they'll get a little wobbly on you. Once you're happy with those and they're cool, you can start to lay them out on a plate and display them. We're going to take some fresh thyme and drizzle that over this. It really makes a nice difference with the flavors and textures of this. One of the ways that you can get your thyme leaves to sort of sprinkle out like this is to take it from the stem and pull towards you, as you see me doing there. Then you can sprinkle the rest of it on here. Be generous with this. It really makes a nice difference. And then to plate it, we're just going to take a few of those sprigs and kind of decorate it off to the side. This was so easy, simple, but packed full of flavor. I hope you enjoyed it and are able to share this at your next gathering. Aloha, we'll see you on the next recipe.